Hello, hello, welcome. This is Dr. Ina, Digestive Reset, and I'm a functional medicine practitioner, doctor of pharmacy, helping Crohn's, colitis, and everyone with digestive and inflammatory and hormone issues for over 14 years in my private practice. And today's topic is why is it important to get amino acids for Crohn's and colitis patients or patients with chronic gastrointestinal conditions. Anyone that have any kind of chronic gastrointestinal condition, digestive problems, have some kind of absorption issue. When there's inflammation, you're not absorbing your food well, you're not putting in the absorbing nutrients well. So is it's the same issue for amino acids, and that's where we really need to understand here today, because not much information is available out there. Not all Crohn's and colitis patients know to supplement with appropriate protein, to get the appropriate protein in the diet. What is protein? A lot of my clients that on board, I'm not clear on macros and nutritional aspect of healing. So here is the very important information, and for the disclaimer, this information is not medical advice. Follow the advice of your healthcare practitioner while consuming our content. When would people with inflammatory bowel disease or IBS or inflammatory conditions in the stomach, any inflammation in the body can produce malnutrition, because from the inflammation, from chronic silent inflammation especially, you have no idea that it's happening, even chronic silent inflammation, but the malnutrition aspect is happening. Why? Because you do not digest well, therefore you not absorb the nutrients well. And it's not the vitamins only, it's the other micronutrients too. So it affects the protein. It's more difficult to digest protein compared to other macronutrients. For example, if you are to naturally want to eat a piece of toast, although let's say it's gluten and an inflammatory food, and it's not something that is highly recommended for in functional medicine for people with Crohn's and colitis, we do recognize that it is easier to absorb when you grab a simpler carbohydrate, or even more complex carbs are still easier most of the time to digest than the proteins and fats. So with the protein issue, with the absorption issue, you could get into condition of hypoalbuminemia, albuminemia, and that's when your albumin in blood gets low. That usually takes a while. You really need to be sick for a while, and chronic low protein absorption creates that. And from there, you have a variety now. You're an open case for other problems to come. So we definitely don't want to get to this point of hypoalbuminemia. So I highly recommend to pay attention and to recognize that you need to put in right amino acids. And why they're important? Because you want to prevent all these future problems that are associated with low protein, low amino acid intake. Small trials, small studies support the benefits of supplementation with L-glutamine, for example, or L-arginine for both Crohn's and colitis patients. They are smaller studies, but they're still available and still showing how it's effective and useful. What are amino acids? They're building blocks. They're essential. They're building blocks of protein. Proteins are long chains of amino acids, and your body has thousands of different proteins, and each has an important job. Each protein has its own sequence of amino acids. In order to get to amino acids, you have to break down the protein. That means you have to digest really well. And you know, with Crohn's and colitis patients, that is a problem. So the sequence that makes the protein, they take different shapes and different functions in your body. You could think of amino acids like the letters of the alphabet. When you combine letters in various ways, you make different words. The same goes for amino acids. When you combine them in various ways, you make different proteins. How do we know which ones are essentials and which ones are non-essential amino acids? Amino acids are molecules used by all living things to make proteins. Your body needs 20 different amino acids to function correctly. None of these amino acids nine of these amino acids are called essential amino acids. Must take these in. Essential amino acids must be consumed through the food you eat. Essential amino acids can be found in a variety of foods, including beef and eggs and dairy, which is a big question of inflammation, whether to consume dairy or not. For Crohn's and colitis patients, I do not recommend dairy for my clients, especially in the first few months of my program. And we could get into what my program is about on my webinar that's going to happen on August 23rd. What do amino acids do? Your body uses amino acids to make proteins. Different types of amino acids and the way they're put together determines the function of each protein. So amino acids are involved in many important roles in your body. Amino acids help break down the food, grow and repair body tissues, make hormones and brain chemicals, neurotransmitters. Moods and motivation all depends on that. Provide energy source, maintain healthy skin, hair, and nails, build muscle, boost your immune system, sustain a normal digestive system. How many amino acids do you need? So remember, I said a few minutes ago that you need those 9 essential musts, like to live. You don't need to eat food with amino acids with every meal, but it's important to get the balance of them throughout the day. The recommended daily allowance for every 2.2 pounds of body weight, which is essential amino acids are histidine, 14 milligrams, isoleucine, 19 milligrams, leucine, 42 milligrams, lysine, 38 milligrams, methionine, 19, phenylalanine, 33, threonine, 20, tryptophan, 5, and valine, 24. And L-glutamine happens to be one of the most used for Crohn's and colitis patients, people with leaky gut, people that need to support the tissue, need to restore their lining. We see a lot of use of L-glutamine even above the doses of what's recommended by manufacturer, way above. L-glutamine is an amino acid that is used sometimes in Crohn's, in colitis. Depletion of L-glutamine can result in the damage of intestinal lining. And there's some data showing evidence that glutamine affects GI cell proliferation and differentiation. And we do need more studies, but we do see clinically a lot of benefits from using it. Are you the person to need L-glutamine? It would depend, but we do see that it's relatively safe to use. If you like any of this information, if you'd like more, I'm holding a really interesting webinar, 5 Mistakes to Avoid While Healing Your Gut with IBD. It really pertains to anyone, even without IBD. It's about 5 mistakes to avoid when you're healing your gut, period. The webinar is free. It's going to be on August 23rd at noon. The link to sign up is below. And as always here, Dr. Ina at digestivereset.com. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there.